Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Undefeated fighter Mikey Garcia responds to Vasiliy Lomachenko, his call out. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, the channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We are working. Also, shout out to ES News. I will put a link to the interview and the video in the description box in case you want to listen to it for yourself, see the facial expressions, hear it verbatim. Now, Ellie Sekback, he talked to Mikey Garcia in his gym. Mikey looked like he was staying in shape and, just training, moving around a bit. And he was asked some questions about Vasiliy Lomachenko. He said absolutely he would love to fight Lomachenko if Lomachenko is willing to move up to 135, where he's a champion. Mikey Garcia being a lightweight champion. He knocked out, and I was at that fight. I covered the fight as media. He knocked out Dejan's Latishin, and the whole arena, I think it was the MGM, the whole venue was just like, whoa. Because it was like, to me, that Charlo's knockouts versus Charles Hatley, and also against Erickson Lubin, and David Lemieux knocking out Curtis Stevens. Those are the knockouts that I really remember. Oh yeah, and then Wilder Stavern in the rematch. Those are the knockouts where I'm just like, man, these are the knockouts of the year, in my opinion. Off the top of my head, those are the ones that are standing out so much. So Garcia had two good performances, very good performances. He took Dejan's Latishin, and again, I was at the fight, who was a knockout artist from Montenegro. He had a 91% knockout ratio, somewhere right in there. I believe he was undefeated, and he was a champion, and Mike Garcia destroyed him. Then he fought Broner, made Broner. He was the first guy. The thing that was impressive with the Broner performance is most people thought it was a 50-50 type of fight, and he made it look easy. I also went to New York for that, covered that fight live as media, and he was the first guy who wasn't a guy with a substantial amount of fights at higher weights than Broner, basically a heavier guy than Broner that beat Broner. Everyone else, Sean Porter fought at 165 as an amateur. Facts. Shout out to the Porters. And then Marcos Maidana, that was Broner's second fight. No excuse, because Maidana thrashed him, but that was Broner's second fight at the new weight category. Mikey Garcia was the guy who really moved up, had limited experience. I think he had like one fight or so at 140. And then he outclassed Broner, and it showed. So I gave him a lot of credit just because he was the smaller man doing that. The guy with less fights at 140 or above. Now, fast forward to this Lomachenko situation. He did respond on tape, and he says, yeah, if Lomachenko wants to move up to 135, let's get it cracking. I would love to fight him. He says, I know how the company works, referring to Top Rank, because he used to be signed to Top Rank. Now, we all know, and I'm not trying to dredge up the old past, there was a legal dispute. Mikey sat on the shelf for two and a half years, and finally got it resolved, and he's been fighting really under the PBC banner in his last couple fights. Broner, Dejan's Latishin, and Elias Rojas on the Carl Frampton, Leo Santa Cruz card. And he's just been rocking. He remained undefeated. He says he will fight Lomachenko. He says, I know how the company works. I don't know if they'll offer me what's right or what's fair. I think Lomachenko got 1.2 million versus Rigondeaux. And he says, if they don't offer me something, I'll make them an offer. So this is music to my ears because I think it's a fantastic fight, and I would love to see it. Another thing that was interesting to me is, and maybe I've been around a ton of fighters at this point, so maybe it's just a fighter mentality, but if you watch the interview and just look at the body language, Mikey's just, like I said, stretching out and moving about, and he doesn't really sound too thrilled with Lomachenko. He admits that Lomachenko's good and he's a talent and he's not winning by accident, but he doesn't sound like Teddy Atlas, like, wow, this is the pound for pound #1. He doesn't sound like Dan Rayfield of ESPN, who's saying Lomachenko could arguably beat Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather and give him hell. He just said, you listen to the interview, and he's just like, yeah. He said, I don't know if it's me, it's just my state of the mind, but Lomachenko, to me, he just makes some mistakes, but he's able to capitalize, be it he's fighting smaller guys or guys who are less powerful or less skilled, less talented than him, so he's able to get away with it. He can mask it by footwork or athleticism. He said little things. like he keeps his hands down, and he just feels like, it sounds like he feels that he's not those other fighters. Lomachenko would be stepping up against a bigger fighter, bigger puncher, and he could capitalize on those mistakes. Now, for me, it's a great fight, and it remains to be seen because they haven't fought. But I love the fight, and this is the type of fight. This is more so, in my opinion, and you guys can say whatever. I did pick Rigondeaux to beat Lomachenko, but it was not because I didn't know Rigondeaux was at a disadvantage in multiple things, from the purse to the height disadvantage to the size of disadvantage. The whole thing is Rigondeaux's style and him fighting bigger men. I thought he would produce a different performance, and for that I was wrong. I thought he'd be able to overcome those obstacles. We've seen stuff like that in boxing happen. So I was wrong. But the Mikey Garcia fight, to me, I think the winner of that fight would deserve a lot of credit. Especially, like I said, if Lomachenko does what Bob Arum is saying he would do by making Mikey Garcia quit on the stool and stop him, there's nothing you could say to take away credit from Lomachenko. You can't say, oh, Mikey's older and he's 37 like you can with Rigondeaux. You can't say, oh, Mikey had to travel up 2 weight divisions. You can't say Mikey doesn't have enough strength. So to me, this sounds like it should be a green light if the promoters of Lomachenko want it, because it sounds like Mikey Garcia wants it. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is this: on top of it being a good fight and a good fight for boxing, Lomachenko trains in SoCal. Mikey Garcia is from Oxnard. And I mean, this is easily a West Coast fight. There's big dollars, and I think there would be a big interest for this. Mikey has a fan base. Loma has a fan base. They're both undefeated. And again, this is a fight where they both have certain attributes that you would want to see how this plays out. And the funny thing with me, new media, the funny thing with me is I made another video a couple days ago about this particular matchup, said I loved it. And people blame me and said I want to see Lomachenko lose and at a disadvantage, and it's bullshit that I want to see him move up in weight. Yet Lomachenko is the one, and I'll put the link in the description, he's the one that called out Mikey Garcia. So how is this my fault? He said he wants that work from Mikey Garcia, and his team said they want to move up, link in the description, to 135. He said we have plans to move into 35. So a lot of you radical Lomachenko fans, I can't even say supporters, because support is good, but radical fans who don't think with any level of logic, you got to stop babying and blaming for situations like this. Lomachenko has multiple times mentioned the name of Mikey Garcia and wanting to fight him. Most recently after he knocked out Guillermo Rigondeaux. So, I mean, it sounds like some of the Lomachenko fans, the radical ones at least, it sounds like they don't want to see him tested. They don't want to see him at any disadvantages. So they didn't have a problem with Guillermo Rigondeaux being 37 and moving up 2 weight classes, 8 pounds, to challenge another 2-time gold medalist like himself and coming up short. But some of those same fans have a problem with Lomachenko moving up 5 pounds in the division where he says he's planning on going, and he called out the man. And then to top it off, Mikey Garcia's former promoter and Lomachenko's current promoter, Bob Arum, is talking greasy, saying Mikey will be forced to quit and get knocked out by Lomachenko. So me personally, I don't see what the big deal is. My motto for 2017 and 2018, I told you, let's see it. It's a good fight. I think there's good money there. Both fighters should get paid handsomely. And the winner, Mikey or Loma, if they do fight at 135, deserves a lot of credit, and somebody's got to go. So I love it. I think this is an awesome fight, awesome stylistic matchup. And to me, this will really show some of the hype and some of the stuff that they're saying about Lomachenko, because he's done a great deal in a short period of time, no doubt about it. But as I said, I did a long live stream where we talked about this. The man has nearly 400 fights as an amateur. He's 396 and 1. It's 397 fights. Two-time Olympic gold medalist. So he stayed in the amateur circuit at least 8 years. Then he fought in a World Series of Boxing tournament, had 6 fights at lightweight. Their lightweight division in that tournament was about 130 to 135 pounds. And if I'm not mistaken, he fought Jose Ramirez, who called him out recently too. and I didn't get a chance to make a video about that in that tournament. So, I mean, when it's all settled and done, Lomachenko packs a lot of amateur experience. That's why he's fast-tracked, because he's 29 years old. That's why his pro career has been fast-tracked, and that's why they put him in there with Salido, because they were that confident, even though they should have waited a little bit. That's why they put him in there with a veteran like Salido, because they thought he was well equipped with that much amateur experience, 402, 403 total fights, where he'd be able to beat guys immediately. And he came up short with Salido, but he bounced back with the Gary Russell Jr. win, Nicholas Walters, Jason Sosa, Mariaga, and Rigondeaux. That's all great, but to me, the Mikey Garcia would probably be his most impressive win, because you won't be able to say, if he can beat Mikey Garcia, you won't be able to make any excuses. Undefeated, a guy who's stronger than him, a guy who's bigger than him, a guy who's methodical, and just really a good puncher. And this is the thing. This is why I love the matchup. Mikey might not be a two-time Olympic gold medalist, but he has tons of experience that some people don't even know. He sparred with Brandon Rios, Maidana. He used to spar with Edwin Valero, a massive puncher, when Mikey was probably really a kid, right? He sparred with Manny Pacquiao. And I mean, I don't know every single person that he's sparred, but just that right there, Pacquiao and Edwin Valero. So he is not like he doesn't have any experience. And then as a pro, he beat a lot of the people Lomachenko beat, and he beat them physically, like knocked them the fuck out. He beat Rocky Martinez, knocked him out. He did get knocked down in that fight, but he knocked him out well before most people even knew in the States who Lomachenko was. And he also beat Orlando Salido, knocked him down 4 times and didn't lose to Salido, whereas Lomachenko did. Now, arguably, you know, I mean, you could say, oh, Lomachenko fought him sooner, but like I said, everyone has a different path. I mean, Lomachenko, again, had 402, 403 total fights as an amateur, so that's why he fought Salido. But they should have waited, and he probably wouldn't have lost if he fought Salido in his 7th fight or something. Anyway, great fight. Break it down in the comment section. Let me know who would win. Again, I would give credit to whoever. I don't care who wins. I'm just saying it's that type of fight, and I love it. Mikey Garcia, Vasiliy Lomachenko. Who would win? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.